Fancy racing karts with your mates? Well, now you can all race for as little as £12 each. Just off the A37 between Dorchester and Yeovil, you can arrive and drive on this fantastic course today for only £12. Clay Pigeon Raceway sponsors this episode of Wessex Wheels.
Welcome to Wessex Wheels. You join us here at the Clay Pigeon Raceway near Dorchester.
We've accepted a very kind invitation from the Clay Pigeon to come and try out their fantastic facilities for a very special version of motorsport.
So with that in mind, we devised a number of challenges.
Let's meet the teams. First up, here's Team Wessex and their captain, the irrepressible Steve Stigbully, sporting a tasteful flat cap. And with him, the amazing Andrew Parry and the voiceover man himself, Jack Glanville. Yeah, that's me. And if you hadn't guessed already, we're racing mobility scooters, courtesy of Active Mobility. And our opponents in the Clay Pigeon Gauntlet are from the Enable Karting charity. Let's have a look at their scooter.
This is our scooter we're going to use.
Right, okay.
Hold on, wait a minute. Okay, that's right, funny.
It's a bit top heavy. I can see it rolling over.
That's why.
You know.
When you said you've got electrics, we weren't expecting a curve system.
I'm thinking dirty tricks here for winning.
Got to plan.
Yeah. Plan? Plan.
Have a plan.
We're just going to go exercise a bit of plan.
Strategy meeting. Like what you've just seen, we're in a bit of trouble. But I grew up in the 90s, so I've used video game culture, things like that, has inspired me to come up with a little trick that should help us in the race. Quite simply, bananas.
And it appears I'm not the only one with a trick up my sleeve, as Andrew appears to be making some modifications to Steve's scooter. Moments later, a blissfully unaware Steve returns, swapping under duress the flat cap for a more conventional helmet, before we all make our way to the track. So the challenge. All three of Team Wessex need to do 3 laps, while the 3 Enable Karting guys on their scooter hybrid need to do 3 laps each. Surely we've got this one in the bag. So here we are then, all lined up and ready for the off. And they're off! Most of us are off. I'm still having a little bit of trouble making it go forward. But eventually, we're off. Well, Andrew and I are off. Steve, on the other hand, appears to be going a little slow. Oh dear. Anyway, Andrew cutting the corner there instead of going round the chicane there, and that does not go down well with me. And there, the Enable Karting guys showing us how it should be done on their second lap already. Steve, meanwhile... Yes. It's taking his time. We'll get back to that. And while the Enable Karting team zooms ahead, I've actually gone so slow that I've fallen asleep at the wheel and left the indicator on. Meanwhile, slowly but surely, Steve finally makes it around the chicane. And onto the straight. Not a man to be rushed here. Clearly, Andrew's cunning plan has left Steve on super slow, but has Steve twigged yet? As he leans forward trying to get the car to go a little bit faster. And Andrew and I, obviously, getting further and further away, and the karting guys, well, that's another story altogether. Never mind, Steve. So as we fumble along the course, the Enable karting guys come up to make their next change. Yes, a true embodiment of teamwork, though I'm sure that pushing the scooter is cheating. Not that that would make much difference by now. So as Andrew and I try our best to make good time, Steve... Well, the Clay Pigeon team have now opted to record his time with a calendar instead of a stopwatch. And no Steve standing up won't help you at all, not one bit. Think he might have realised now there's actually something wrong with the scooter, but it's a bit too little, too late. Now, time for the banana trick, the moment you've all been waiting for. And it fails dismally. Anyway, never mind. Andrew then, opting to go backwards with the car, unorthodox technique, but we come to expect that from motorman Andrew Parry. Still, quicker than Steve, but I'm sure that going backwards isn't going to turn the clocks backwards, Andrew. It's a nice try, though. And now I, in a somewhat dreary state, have somehow managed to put the scooter into the ditch, right on the last corner. So as I wrestle with the mud, the Enable karting guys clearly and easily take victory. But that doesn't matter to me. No siree. As long as I'm ahead of Andrew and Steve, that's all that matters. And here I am. You can see just how much that means to me. That win, I'll take that, best of the worst. But who will be in last place? Yeah, somehow I don't think it's going to be Andrew. No, Andrew, you haven't crossed the line yet. Bit too keen on the celebrations there. And finally, completing his first lap, somewhat older than he was when he started, it's the not-so-speedy Steve Bully. Well, somebody had to come last, Steve. Never mind.
No, hang on, I've got a yellow flashing light. No, blue. Green flashing light. Anyway, for bananas back.
For all the good they did.
Lights, horn, indicator. I can't believe I didn't notice it was on low. Low.
Gonna go get a recovery scooter.
So a clear win for the Enable karting charity, but the bigger competition for the best of the worst hasn't gone down well with one of Team Wessex.
So after that, it's still not quite conclusive, as we now know that somebody had put my mobility scooter into tortoise mode.
Yes, Steve, but you're still lost.
Okay, sorry about that. On to the next challenge then, the slalom time trial. And first up, it's me and my bananas.
Set. Go.
Okay.
So despite the extra banana weight, I'm sure you'll agree that that's looking ridiculously smooth. As you see, coming round that final corner, looking very tidy through there, keeping it nice and close, but not too close to the cones, you know, best to err on the side of caution. And as I head over, coming up now to the final straight, what's the time going to be like?
4.61.
34.61.
Jack, no penalty.
Oh dear.
Yes! Huzzah! Now.
So after that minor incident, it's time for the Enable karting charity's scooter hybrid. Yeah, that's looking pretty fast. And despite having a far wider chassis than Wessex's scooters, he's handling that extremely well. But did he hit any cones? I don't think so. But more importantly is the time. What's it going to be?
26.43, very smooth.
Can't use that as a paper quote.
Oh. Darn it.
So I lost my composure a little bit there. And now for a man who wants to give his arms a serious workout. It's Enable Karting's team captain. Well, this is going to be an extraordinary effort, and you can see him gaining speed, really working the arms as he goes across the slalom there. Even so, it's showing massive determination as he comes round now and coming back down for the final straight. If that was me, my arms would have fallen off by now. Nonetheless, keeping it very, very tight on those cones. I'm surprised he hasn't hit any, he's going so close. What is the time going to be? Can it beat us on the mobility scooters?
52.16.
Stand back and prepare yourselves!
Not an advisable line to say on a first date. It's the amazing Andrew Parry, and he's off. Oh, one cone down already, Andrew. Got to be careful. That's 2 cones now, actually. Remember, each cone is an extra 5 seconds on your time, so he's lost 10 seconds already. Really has some making up to do here. You can see him shifting the weight by leaning forward, but will it be enough? It's time then for banana attempt number 2. And yes, that was a complete success, him hitting a third and final cone.
Fast, 30.9.
No, Andrew, that time won't be good enough with 3 cones hit.
We've got to add 5, 10, 15 seconds to that for not cones.
Never mind.
Set.
Finally, the moment nobody's been waiting for, a new and improved, we hope, Steve Stig Bully. A cunning tactic there by Steve, swapping the cumbersome helmet for the much lighter, straight out of Scotland flat cap. As the lightest of the 3 riders as well, will Steve have enough speed to take the lead? Looking pretty tidy so far, but not a man to be rushed is our Steve, and gradually he's making his way back down through the slalom. Will that time be good enough? Let's find out.
39. Yes! Made it. That's really going off, Jack, if I'm honest with you.
Oh yes, best of the worst.
Marvellous.
Victory is mine!
Well, we've had a great day here at Clay Pigeon Raceway, and we've learned a lot about the Enable Karting charity.
But the great news is we haven't managed to destroy any of the active mobility scooters. They have all gone back in one piece, just.
So thanks to Active Mobility for supplying us with those. And finally, we've also learned that out of the 3 of us, the best driver is definitely me.